Evening, folks. Welcome to the first council meeting of the year. Go ahead, Sam.
Call the meeting to order.
Welcome to the, I just got to get the audio going here.
Be patient here.
Everybody else did it. I don't know why it's okay. Yeah. No,
Meeting is called to order, so I'll have confirmation of the minutes. Yeah, I've already called the meeting. Oh, yeah. Yep. So you move to confirm the minutes, and I have a second. Minutes. Oh,
I can't vote in favor of on the confirmation minutes for the December 20 meeting because we did not follow the Municipal Act 142.3 and 142.4. And that where this is coming from is to do with the indemnity bylaw 2022/380 and gravel license bylaw 2022/382. We did not follow the Municipal Act or our own procedural bylaw on them two items, so I can't vote in favor of confirming the minutes.
So what procedure bylaw did we not,
Well,
on the indemnity, where did we go wrong?
Municipal Act, we did follow the Municipal Act.
In on what terms can you expand? So the person that brought it to the table,
For them bylaws, we should have had a draft in our possession to review, and we never had any of that for the first 3 years.
Councilor Brown, that's a good point. I've been discussing that with the CEO. We all know he's new. In fact, it was a discussion I had just before we logged on. Where is our draft? It needed to be put in draft. I emailed him, and I guess there's some inexperience there in all fairness, but I think the content is there. The intent is there. I agree that
It's not fair, so I
so
can't support it.
do you want us to table this until we,
Well, it's up to the new.
I'd make an amendment to the table until next.
table the minutes
Yeah.
until now? Okay, till we get there. We just discussed it before the meeting. We need these bylaws in draft form. I know it's a bit of an experience, but it's a challenge, but that's usually what we do. We make the changes in draft. before it comes here, and they weren't done, but the intent was there. These are up there, taking out. So we'll take it, like, you're okay with that?
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Terry, you will, the table until the next meeting, okay? So we'll table the minutes. Confirm it until next. Okay? That's not just understood. Council Brown, that's a good point. We need to follow the procedure bylaw, but we gotta. Yeah, but I'm just making a comment before we take it to the vote. CAO is doing everything he can, trying to get you caught up. So anyways, we'll take a vote to basically table it till the next meeting. Is everybody in favor of that? No. All in favor? All in favor. Terry, you're. Yeah. Carry. Okay, adoption of the agenda. I'd like to add 12.1, a legal matter to go into camera. 12.1, right after the inquiries, to go into camera. So I'd like that added to the agenda just before, when we adopt the agenda, the addition of a in camera. Training. What? This is a resolution. Awesome.
Yeah, stairs. It's just an addition
Which one?
under the adoption of the agenda.
Yeah, that is. We haven't seen any.
It's an addition, it just came in today.
We
It's an
haven't seen any.
addition to the agenda. It's attached. The request for training from the constable is attached.
And
It
we're,
came in today, so it couldn't be in previous to this.
I don't have.
It's under 11.5.
Oh, it's on, okay. 11.5.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see anything. Why don't we table that as well? We'll call a special meeting. We'll deal with a couple of issues.
It's there. It's 11.5. Chief constable request for training.
Yeah, well, we've got no content.
Yes, there is the content. It's attached.
Right here.
11.5.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Just give it a second here.
Oh, well, mine's trying.
I get this. I get the world's most trusted free pew viewer. Let's take it. We need content.
It's
on where it says use a.
We haven't had a chance to speculate and review it. Yeah, why don't we, we'll deal with the minutes or table. So I'll call a special meeting at the earliest convenience and we'll deal with this training. So if everybody has a chance to review what we're sending training for in the cost, I don't see anything.
See the dates.
Yeah.
That's all I see is a date.
What the training
Yeah,
is.
so let's, we can't add that. We don't have any content. Okay, so then I guess I need a move to adopt the agenda with the one addition, the legal matter in 12.1, or else anybody else has anything else.
Could it not be 13.1, because we do have a notice of the original.
You mean the legal matter? Yeah, let's go take it to 13.1. So you're gonna make the motion to adopt the agenda with the addition. Yeah, with the one addition. With the one addition. Okay.
I'll second.
Council, Council Ross is moving, Council Rohan seconded. Anybody else get a question? Any question? All in favor? Carry. Okay.
So chairperson, can we remind people to speak? Pretty quiet when people are there trying to listen to us.
I'll have a motion for the delegation for this motion then. For item number 4, I can have a motion. Yes. Yeah, but. You've got.
It's just, we'll now hear from our delegations. Reminder, the presentations must be a maximum of 10 minutes long.
Okay,
And then the first one is Fred Gilbert.
okay, we'll call for our first delegation. Fred Gilbert. Want to remind you, 10 minutes there, Mr. Gilbert.
Good evening, my name is Fred Gilbert. I've serviced the Army of Cornwallis for 50 years, traveled the roads. My family done it 20 years previous to me. My great grandfather was first homesteader in the Army of Cornwallis. Cornwallis I have very deep roots with. And when I see some of the stuff that's going on here in the last month, I'm very disturbed about it. One thing, Sam, you tried to push that across last week, this licensing fee. We got 2 council members that didn't know nothing about it. CO was thrown in his lap just before the meeting. You've been here for 20 years. You can't say you didn't know better. You've been at how many meetings? You know how you run this sort of stuff. So far, you've broken probably, I looked at your sign for running for Reed. Fairness, affordable, RM spending, transparency, accountability. I can name off something for every one of those where you broke the rules. And that's unacceptable to be a person of power, and a Reed especially, or a mayor, or whatever. I would like to know why Bob Brown was overlooked after 27 years of service. Nothing against you, Mr. Ross, I don't know you personally. But as a ratepayer, I would like to know why a person with 27 years experience that we really could have used with 3 new members to our board, why he was passed over.
Mr. Gilbert is a delegation, so keep going, you're not gonna get.
Okay, my second question,
You're not gonna get any answers, we'll write you a letter.
the pit licensing that come out. Where's this droning outfit from that you recommend?
No answers tonight.
Okay,
We'll respond.
You
to that.
recommended somebody, I believe you said BC. We have 34 gravel pits, I think, that are registered in the Army of Cornwallis. There's probably only 20 active ones. I would like to know what research you did and what research you did on this. This is a big move. I mean, you have an obligation to the RM. You are personally liable if you make bad decisions. We can't just go, you make a motion and you second it. That's what I've seen for 3 weeks now, watching these meetings. I haven't seen any unity at all in this. Not a bit of unity in this council. And I'm very concerned about that. All these people here, if there's a bad apple in the bunch, we'll let you know. You don't need an RM cop. You don't need somebody to go out and weigh every load. We will tell you. We know. We're very honorable people in this business. All the weak and all the rats are gone now. Only the strong are surviving with fuel prices, shortage of men, etc. We're here to supply a service. Our haul roads are terrible. I went over to your side of the river, which you were the counselor of. I went over there to do a bit of work this fall to help Shane out, do some work on Magazine Road. I couldn't believe the shape those roads were in. The roads on wards 1 and 2 could win best roads in Manitoba. So where did we go wrong here? Somebody's not doing their job. I heard last week, Gordy Bedham here. He said that he was concerned about his son being in an accident, and I'm just as concerned. We don't want accidents. That's the last thing we want. But when he said there was dust and this and that, that's your ward. There was only one intersection on 7 miles. That should have had dust control. You're getting paid by the mile for every truck that goes down that road. That is your responsibility as a counselor. I hear you want to cut these counselors' pay. We don't want you to, we want you to get a raise. We want you to go out and check those roads. We want you to go check culverts. We want you to know what's going on. Not sitting in this office micromanaging everybody. That's the way those people on that wall, all them old guys, I work for them.
And that's how they conducted business. They were on hands. They didn't pass the buck and blame the CEO or blame CAO or blame somebody else. They took the blame. And that's the kind of counselors we need back in this RM game. Emil Eckhart, Bob Brown. I can't tell you how many times I've seen them at job sites, examining roads, discussing it with us, how we can make it better. We're here to help you, not here to rob you. And unfortunately, the trucks aren't going to go away. They're here forever. So those roads out there, they need some attention. Not a lot. There's only 5 miles on Prairies Landing Road, which is a main vein. Magazine Road's a perfect truck route. There's only 2 residents live on the whole 7 miles. Give them some free dust control. Take the road money. The money isn't in the gravel pit. We get $2 a yard. Your proposal was $6,000 a piece for 34 pits. That works out to $204,000. So we sell gravel for $2 a yard. So that means we got to give 100,000 yards away just to pay somebody in BC. The council aren't even getting the money. It's going out of province. Last year, you come up with an idea, Mr. Hofer, about running GPSs in our trucks. You told everybody in Saskatchewan was running them. Do you think we're stupid, all the people that are sitting here? We did a search on it. They are all municipal people that have GPSs, not third-party vehicles. We done a search on it. We're not here to practice. We know what we're doing. Council, we have formed a new group that we're not only going to help the Arm of Cornwallis if they ask for help. We're going to ask some surrounding, maybe it's on product, gravel, they run mixtures, process of laying the gravel down. We've already had one RM reach out to us, wants some advice. You said when Councilman Brown asked you if you would take some advice from some of the residents that are in the business, you said, no, we're going to hear from the people. These women over here that are at every meeting, they can't tell you how many loads of gravel on a road. They can't tell you how much a yard of gravel weighs. They have no idea. And you said, let the people decide. Well, how can the people decide what they don't know? Ask somebody that knows. We're more than help. Everybody in this room are willing to help you. But you don't want any help. You want to do it your way. You're like the person walking down by Walmart. You stop and ask them if you can buy them a hamburger. You said, no, I'd rather have the money. We're here to help you, not rob you. So anyway, that's all I got to say. And I hope you take some advice. There was another incident last, in fact, I might add this one, seeing I got time. Last year I was awarded a heavy clay job. You wrote on Facebook that Don Anderson had poorly wrote that contract and it should be rewrote. And Mr. Gilbert had no idea where that gravel was going. Do you think I would actually do a contract that I didn't know where the gravel was going? I phoned the public works guy, where's the gravel going? He told me I did the job. You wrote on Facebook, it was 25 miles away from my gravel pit. Well, I might be in Source or Alexander. So I don't know where you got them numbers from. You also said that we were $48,000 over in budget on dust control. I phoned Bev the next morning in the office here. Since you slandered my name 2 years ago at the finance meeting, I've listened to every word you said. And I want you to get this right. If you want to be the head of this RM, make sure right. That dust control was nowhere near 48,000. Because you also said on Facebook, where's my gravel and where's the dust control? On the west side of the river, you can ask Councilman Brown. It was already done, was it not? The dust control, was it done? Was it not? So you're writing fiction, not truth. So if you want to be a Reeve, I suggest you get your act cleaned up. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Gilbert. Yeah, here's a resolution. Have a motion. Councilor Maxwell makes a motion to receive Mr. Gilbert. You want to read it out, Mr. Maxwell? This is for the audience.
Be it resolved that the delegation information presented to council by Greg Gilbert be hereby received.
I'll second. Councilor Brown, the second. Anybody got a question? All in favor? Okay. Good. Next one. Dennis, Mr. Come on.
Good evening, everybody. I want to start my delegation by bringing up the problem of highly inflated licensing fees. The $6,000 plus a year that we proposed or that you talked about last meeting. Question, why would we expense hundreds of thousands of dollars to drone pits in the RM when 2/3 of the levy's revenues are from the transportation tax? Droning, surveying is highly inaccurate because it cannot account for compaction, snow, and water levels. Meanwhile, it does nothing for telling the RM which roads were used and how many kilometers should be levied. Roadside scales are very costly to purchase, maintain, and operate. LiDAR systems are yet to be advanced enough to be practical for this type of application. Solution? We could require every load that comes out of Cornwallis pit to carry a scale ticket or bill of lading showing which pits they are hauling from and which roads they are using. That way the Cornwallis police can ask the documentation when they stop someone. We as owners have to provide that info to the RM office when we submit our payments or as needed. RM should request info also from MIT projects, talking government projects, regarding tonnage and pit locations. All volumes, materials used on MIT contracts are recorded and that info is accessible. Problem. The RM has a cash flow problem waiting for problems waiting for yearly payments. Solution one, the RM has already increased the levy by 47%, nearly doubling our fees. That should help. We could also consider quarterly payments or on bigger projects, i.e. 10,000 tons plus a month. That would help the RM get money quicker to maintain and repair roads. Note, we would like to see annual budgets, inflows and outflows, so that we can ensure this levy money is being used in the most efficient and practical manner. I do not think we should pay upfront fees or higher taxes on all our pits, as it creates a slippery slope. Some of these pits we may not use for years, and we are already taxed a substantial mining levy for every ton that comes out of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Flannery.
I'll make a motion, be it resolved that the delegation by Vince Platt be received.
Have a second. Anybody got any questions? All in favor? Good. Last. Mr. Bush. Oh.
Evening. Representing Alternative Landscaping Gravel Plus. Question one. Will council be holding meeting with stakeholders, pit owners and operators in the municipality to review council supporting documents? To review council concerns, reasons for changes. Question two. Can council explain and show supporting documents how they produced the $6,000 license fee for gravel pit owners, operators? Number three, can council produce the financial report showing how all residents and taxpayers are financially subsidizing gravel pits and operators? And number five, what is council's plan for the current gravel bylaw and when does council propose to amend this bylaw? What will the process be for this? And then number six is, can council show the public documents supporting all and any other municipalities in Manitoba that what they're charging for license fees? And that is all I have.
Thank you. You're
Spencer Griffin.
Chris, you did. Spencer, okay. Well, wouldn't you, okay? So I guess the resolution, just give me 1 second.
We'll make that resolution be resolved that the delegation information presented to council by Alternative Landscaping be hereby received.
Second, Council Brown, Council Maxwell, do you have any comments?
No comments, I guess, other than the one question about a meeting between council and gravel pit owners. Have we got a date picked out to let them know?
Yeah, I've requested a meeting with the CEO a week ago. I asked him to advertise it, and it is, my understanding is it is advertised.
It's not advertised, but we've invited, several pit owners. How many today?
We need to advise all the pit owners.
At least 14 today. We were trying to get a hold of them all. It's, January 30th at 7 p.m. Here, and then the public will be able to view on Zoom. It's not advertised yet.
Good. Thank you.
Wondering, if you read real fast, Barbara, can you get those questions?
Yeah, I was gonna ask them
Yeah,
that.
they're actually attached.
There's one where Mr. Griffin, can you email administration the sixth question? There's only 5 on here.
Yeah.
You had the sixth one. Thanks a lot. Chris. Yeah, you don't want to. We'll get back to you, all the delegations with a letter.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Could I ask to, what timeline are we gonna respond to their inquiries, I guess?
Try to get it done before the weekend. I'll work with James and get it done. So hopefully I'm gonna try to get a letter out in the next 5 days. All the, yeah, no, that's fair. You guys, we owe a response to you, so we'll do that. Yeah, just be patient with us. Great. Okay, so on to. So we, oh, yeah, sorry. Does anybody else have any other questions regarding the delegations? Those are good questions, and we will, just for the audience to know, I'll make a comment before. I've been pushing for this meeting. I just want the gravel pit owners to understand, we've got a new administration. Yesterday was the first day I got a hold of a document that I've asked for the last year. Yesterday, the administrative assistant or the financial assistant, I got a hold of a document. I will include that in my presentation where the $6,000 originated from. So that's on the 30th. I'll do a PowerPoint presentation. We owe, this municipality owes those pit owners that have requested information in June. We bailed as a municipality. I wasn't in charge. We bailed, but we've got some information for you that will, the only information we've got so far, and we'll share that with you. So I'll call for the question. All in favor of the receiving? No. Carry. Okay, fine.
Your times.
Yeah. Anybody want to make that motion there under for that subdivision in Jeter?
I think we should read it. I can read it.
Well, you have to, whoever is the mover. Okay, or sure, go ahead and read it out and somebody can move.
So, this is for, be it resolved that, proposal to subdivide application number 4116-228459. So it's, proposal to subdivide, approved subject to the following conditions. This is, subdivision in Chater. Number 1, that a variance be granted, reducing the site width of all lots in the development from a minimum of 150 feet of site width down to the actual site width of each affected lot as determined by the development officer of the Keystone Planning District. 2, that development agreement be entered into between the registered owner and the rural municipality of Cornwallis. And 3, that the additional lots be included in the Chater wastewater collection. So for clarification for everyone, this was brought up at the December 20th meeting. For clarification, with respect to the revised report to council, the 7 lots in question were removed from this subdivision application, were previously located on the east side of Main Street, not the west side of Main Street, and east of the plan area, not west of the planned area, and north of Main Street. So this particular application has gone through all of the hurdles necessary, and it would be the recommendation of administration to to approve, but that's up to council. And there's attachments there for review.
So can I have a motion? Change your own song, and I have a second.
I'll second it.
Yeah, okay, Councilor Maxwell, you have any, okay,
No, I think, they fixed everything and they've gone through the planning and they've gone through Keystone planning and I think everything's ready to go there that,
Yeah, just for clarity, council asked it to come back to administration to do a little bit more checking to make sure everything was in order. And yeah, there was a couple of clarifications made. One from the minimum of it was 150 feet, not 100 feet. So that was clarified by community planning and by the developer. It was actually a typo from community planning side. And then adding this development to the Chater wastewater collection as well, so.
okay, anybody else got something, I got a comment at the end here, you got something, Rob? You missed something, Rob. $2,500 lot fee is not enough to develop. We're gonna put it in the development agreement.
Yeah.
That's gonna be, and there's
Yeah, that's what
other,
it is.
yeah.
That's in there for the development agreement.
Once we establish, I'm surprised Councilor Brown didn't pick that up because we're doing it every subdivision, so we'll do that. So anybody else got any questions? We're gaining 7 more lots in the back part of Jaded lots, so very big, so with the sewer started yesterday, I think it's a good fit, so all in favor? Carry.
And the next one, I'd like to just explain, sorry.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, explain why it's back on
Thank you.
here.
So the Whittingham resolution or Whittingham subdivision was also discussed at the December 20th meeting. And when the resolution was sent to community planning, it was discovered that I made an error on the resolution. So it should say, be it resolved that council approved this revised resolution replacing resolution number 2022-373. So that was the December resolution with the following. Be it resolved that subdivision application number, that's the number, and location as submitted by Whittingham's be approved as there are no concerns from various government departments and hereby approved by council subject to the following conditions. That a variance order be granted decreasing the minimum site area from 80 to 40 acres on proposed lots 1 and 2 within the Ag 80 zone. So my typo was something to do with that last line. The variance order be granted decreasing the minimum site area from 80 to 40. I think I had a Ag something wrong with the zoning, the wording. So I was corrected, and so this is the correct resolution.
So having said that, I'll make the motion to go with that revised resolution.
Okay, I have a second.
I'll second it.
Councilor Maxwell. We have Councilor on the reboot, Councilor Maxwell. Anybody got any other comment? It doesn't change the approval, but it just the wording was right. All in favor? Carry. Okay. Report. The CEO has the report.
Yeah, so I'm pleased to give a report. It's been interesting first few months here in this role. The day-to-day operations of the municipality. It's a very busy office. We're now open as of January 4th, 3rd or 4th, from Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and over the lunch hour. So I just want to thank Barb and Tracy for helping and for coming on board and taking on this big responsibility. We've administration and financial management, we've made strides in this area. However, training is still needed. Tracy has secured some training. There was some training on Sunday with the closing procedure and month help with month year end. And there was a little bit more on Monday. So and then on the human resources side, I feel that financial analyst is excellent. The administrative assistant Barb is doing very well. We're trying to foster a positive and collaborative, respectful work environment. I've been trying to encourage and coach staff daily and been giving supervision, although they don't need a whole lot of supervision, but the public works guys on a weekly basis for sure, and sometimes daily, communicating with those great workers. The fiscal planning and budgeting and reporting, the budget urgency is noted by administration. We're doing the best we can, and Tracy will have a little more to share on that. Trying to keep council informed on progress and emerging issues in the RM. I do have in here that I do seek to enroll in some training. The CMMA for one. There's also a municipal boot camp in Elkhorn. That'll be up to the council's discretion. Administrative assistant has completed her criminal record check. And she is taking the minutes today, which is a big help for me, not having to take the minutes. So thanks, Barb. As I said, financial analysts coming along with Assist. Assist is a municipal software program that the RM uses, and it's quite a program, and it's a bit of a learning curve if you've never dealt with it before. Her criminal record check is also completed. For myself as interim administrative CAO, certainly gaining some more confidence, although I have no municipal experience prior to this, and municipal is quite different than the Parliament of Canada that I'm used to for 11 years. I am actively trying to get up to speed on the Municipal Act. As I said, CMMA, hopefully. Obviously, provincial and federal legislation affects RMs quite a bit. We did engage Larry McGuire's office. He did have a meeting with us last week regarding Lake Clementi, which is very encouraging. We're hoping to potentially tap into federal infrastructure money to help with that issue. If we can get the province to hunt that up to the federal level. Don't want to make any promises, but that's kind of an encouraging step for residents of particularly the Grants and folks in Oakland, Wawonisa that are affected by that lake at times of high water levels. I have applied and expecting my criminal record check back shortly. I'm not very good at the assist program, but thankfully I have two very good, capable colleagues here. There's a public works report, which I shared with council, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Motion.
I'll make the motion be resolved that the CAO report be accepted.
Second. Does anybody have any question? All in favor?
I don't think there's any petitions. I don't know.
Well, no, we didn't. There's nothing.
I didn't have it.
No.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Communications. We've got three letters of communication. If I can have a motion.
Yeah, there's actually a fourth that I put in there, the Southeast Brandon plan. So if you could add that, so it's in the minutes.
I'll make that motion that be it resolved that the following communications be received and filed. Tantum Corporation, Juggernaut, Southwest Planning, Brandon Planning, and Southeast Brandon Planning.
Can I have a second? Councilor Rowan, second. Okay, anybody got any questions? Those reports are very long. All in favor? Here. Good. Moving along. Okay. So request 8.1. It's the request for steel dumping.
Being it's in my area, I'll make that motion. Whereas the rural municipality of Cornwall Cornwallis under bylaw number 1602052007 prohibits depositing of snow on land unless on the same parcel of land from which the snow originated or on an adjacent parcel of land in the same ownership. And whereas a request for an exemption has been received from Cody Rose on behalf of Fred Savazak Well Drilling and Trucking. Now therefore be it resolved that we do hereby grant any RM of Cornwallis taxpayer an exemption for dumping of snow on their own property, provided they are granted authorization for Manitoba conservation. Be it further resolved, a copy of that authorization be forwarded to the RM office before snow dumping commences. Be further resolved, this be for the year 2023.
If I could just make one comment, our bylaw says Manitoba Conservation, although the Manitoba government has split that into a couple different now. There's environment and climate and parks, and there's one other one that there's two different departments, but I left it as saying Manitoba Conservation because Cody did get the authorization from both of those departments that are the new departments.
Can I have a second, Councilor Maxwell? Okay. Do you have any?
We actually did this sort of thing last year also, and obviously we didn't have any problems with it.
Something I noticed here. Already here is that now they're going to be resolved, and I'll give the mover a chance to perhaps remove that word. You hereby grant any RM of Cornwallis. That's basically opening it up for everybody. I honestly think they need to come with a resolution or with a request to us. Because the way I read this, that's anybody can do it. Yeah. So you should be careful here. I think the request should still come here and just tell them to go get the authorization from Manitoba Conservation. Just, it's not trivial. I think it's, we have to be careful.
I think the way it's written, though, that gives that opportunity to any ratepayer.
Yes.
As long as they go through the same process
That'd be fine.
that Cody Rose did.
Yep.
So I think that's the gist of that.
If you're okay with that, council's okay, because as long as the CEO advises the constable that even though they might not have a motion, as long as they have that piece of paper, that they have authorization from Manitoba Conservation, I have no problem. I think it. I just kind of thought with that word, they don't even have to come to the office. Really. That's what everybody's. That's the way I read it. You're okay with it? I'm okay.
I think that's okay.
Okay, all in favor? Yeah, so make sure Darwin is like, that if there's no motion, as long as that would be the paper. It's the same as okay, because they are controlling the board. Like we have no. On to the next one. Alternative.
Being in Ward 2, I can make that same resolution that we just did for Cody Rose. This is to do with Chris Griffin of Alternative Landscaping. To allow them for dumping of snow on property owned by Alternative Landscaping Limited, Northeast 31018 and Northwest 21018. And now therefore be resolved that we hereby grant an ERM of Cornwallis taxpayer an exemption for dumping of snow on their own property, provided they are granted authorization for Manitoba Conservation. Be it further resolved, a copy of that authorization be forwarded to the RM office before snow dumping commences. Be it further resolved, this be the year 2023.
Segment, Councilor Maxwell. Anybody got any? Just a comment, it's not gonna change the motion. Or the other one, the previous motion, that's on provincial highway, most of the travel, just so we're aware, we need to. Aware that most of the mileage is here on municipal roads, so let's keep an eye on it. Probably works.
This will be mainly going 110 highway.
Oh, 110, okay.
And to Richmond and then south on Maple Leaf and then it's on the boundary road.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a municipal road in this one than it was that one, right?
Just half a mile.
Yep.
Then we don't really look after anyways.
Just keep in mind, that grader, like if it snows, the grader should be out there clearing that snow.
They normally do all that.
Yes, yes, okay, okay, all in favor? Carried. But just a question, you're gonna write both of the letter that we approved it? Yeah, one, yeah, okay. Okay, accounts and finance. I guess I'll hand it over to Tracy Williams, our new financial assistant, to give us a financial report, and then we'll ask for a motion.
Yeah, the first item on there is the financial statement ending September 30th that was tabled at the December meeting. I'm gonna ask that it be tabled again, and the reason for that is that's the last month that the bank was reconciled. That's why it's the statement that's issued, but I haven't had a chance to get into the October statement, so I'm not comfortable really for like commenting on that statement. So I'd ask for a little bit more time to get the bank reconciliations worked on. And then if we could table that, but I will note for the people watching that page 2 of the balance sheet seems to be missing on that statement. I think there was an error when it printed from the assist program. So I'll reprint that tomorrow and have James upload the complete financial statement, including page 2.
Good. Okay. That's the financial statement. You want to do
The accounts payable and
yeah,
Yeah, then there's the check register. The check register is the combined accounts payable and the payroll. So that is the checks from November the 18th to, I put till December 31st, but it's actually till, that includes the payroll. The accounts payable was up to, yeah, I guess it is till the 31st. Then the only ones I want to make note of is check number 11056 for the Manitoba Municipal Administrators Association has been voided, that $550. I just haven't voided it in the system yet. And then the first 3 payroll runs for Robert Brown, Sam Hofer, and Kurt, they were an error in the online banking system. They automatically went into for deposit without me even going in there. But Kurt has refunded the money. It was Kurt's indemnity from paid in error, but he has totally refunded that $974.47. And I've adjusted the 2 for you and for Bob. And other than that, it's pretty straightforward, but I can answer any questions if anybody has.
council member.
You table.
You could approve these ones. I want to table the financial statements, but this check register, it could go up for approval if someone's willing to make that motion.
The question of the councilors. Anybody else? Is on page 3, point scan. I looked at it last night. On the financial statement, even though there's page 2 missing.
Well, that's what I just mentioned, that's
Yeah.
when I just said that I will have it
Yeah.
uploaded. It was printed wrong out of assist.
Yeah, but if you look at the fuel costs, it's considerably.
On page 2,
Well,
On
no,
page 1?
no, somewhere's on there.
yeah,
It's
that's
just-
just the balance sheet.
Can
Fuel
or-
costs,
Yeah, fuel costs. Can you check where we are year to date?
Yeah.
Or even though this one was, it's obviously. This one here is 15,000.
okay,
It is the last day of the year, so I'm hoping the tank is full, but I'm just. Concerned that we are way over. When I looked at the financial statement with that $15,000.
what page, show me what
Well, I'm
page?
looking at page 2 here to check a $15,000 co-op fuel.
Oh, on the check register,
But if you go to the financial statement that you sent us,
Yeah, the
We're
co-op
gonna
had,
take-
co-op was high this month because it hadn't been paid for 2 months, so that was 2 months worth of fuel costs, but I will
Yeah.
tell you what the fuel costs are year to date.
Just for that line item, just to give councils an appreciation, we've got to look at ways to reduce our fuel costs with a rising cost. I want to know where we are, give us actual or budgeted and accurate. You know, from my numbers, we're gonna be way over, and I realize we've got no control of the fuel, but we need to look at every asset we own. How can we reduce
Okay,
our fuel costs, because fuel isn't gonna go down tomorrow. It's just something good. If you can just give a little bit of a,
yeah, I can do that. I can get that for you tomorrow morning.
and once we get into budget, I'll request a breakdown of all the liters per vehicle and all that, so.
Yeah, and just so the council knows, the budget for 2023, I need a little bit of more time on that, only because the bank hasn't been reconciled. And because with all the staff changeover that happened in October, like end of October, beginning of November. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't entered, so it's very hard for me to work with James as the CAO on that financial plan without having a full look at 2022. So I need a little bit more time to get the books caught up, and then I can do a really good comparison year to date and last year to this year, and then make a better budgeted forecast for 2023.
I know, Tracy, you and me had it. Can you advise council, if everything goes well, when do you expect the year end to be complete?
I'm hoping in a perfect world that I could have you something by February 1st, but if I find that I'm needing a little bit more time, I'll give you enough notice ahead of that, maybe a week. If I need a little bit more time, but that's gonna be my estimated time right now.
Okay, that's good. Anybody else got any questions? And just for the public, Tracy's been working really hard. She assists, I'm not an assistant person, but the software that I'm using it's challenging, from my understanding, but she's really come a long ways. We're doing our best right now. We told Tracy that's her number one focus is basically do that year end. The council is really excited to get into starting our budget because we're gonna need multiple days of massaging things and seeing where we are. And
Yeah, it's not the process that I need, it's the assist. I have 30 years of doing financial bookkeeping and stuff. It's the municipal program is very unique and it's very time consuming. So getting all of that stuff in to come up with the proper numbers.
yeah, no, that's good. So, with that, I'll have a motion. There's a motion before there.
I guess that motion will change somewhat, being that the financial statement is, I guess, tabled, and the accounts payable checks should be approved, so
And so in the minutes it'll be shown as tabled, right?
The first item showed as table, the second as well.
Barb, do you have that?
So the financial statement is tabled, but we're approving the accounts payable.
So I guess just say be it resolved that the financial statement for the months ended September 22 tabled.
Yeah.
And further be it resolved, accounts payable, payroll checks be approved.
Yeah. That's what we want. And it's, we'll give it a second, tell me when you're ready. Bob moved it.
Yes.
Ed, okay, all in favor? Okay, carry. Good, thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Five. It's the sign. Resolution number 10.1.
So what, do you want an explanation first?
Yeah, just give background.
Okay,
Just so
so
on.
I haven't included the whole new document. I did put in the attachment with just, it's basically just a change because the titles changed from basically so that it has for checks and things like that, has to be CAO or financial with either Reeve or Deputy Reeve, or in the absence of them, one of the other council members. And then all agreements signed by the Reeve, together with the Reeve, or in the absence of the Reeve, the deputy Reeve, together with the financial analyst and the chief administrative officer. It's so that an office staff and one of the politicians are signing everything. That's basically what it is, so nobody can run away with the cash to Mexico.
Yeah, be a result, we need to hereby give third reading to bylaw number 1690/03/2020. Being the organizational bylaw to revise signing authority officers.
It's Councilor Brown. Move it. I can't support that. We just got challenged at the start of the meeting. We're not following our procedure by law. He just broke it. It's not drafted out.
Our first reading, was it drafted out?
No.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Rich, I'll
I mean,
take that back.
we're watched out there. And now, in all fairness, the CEO is doing everything he can, but it's not in draft form. I have no problem with it. But we're getting challenged and we've got two reversal of motions because we were dealing with things that wasn't in format. And we've got a new CEO that is trying his best to find some of these bylaws in an editable copy, but it takes time. So we're passing it, so we can't really move.
I'll withdraw that motion.
Well, none of them work then.
Even the trailer bylaw.
None of them work, sorry.
Yep. You understand? Jamie?
Yeah, I've asked council for a mentor or for help, and this hasn't happened, and it's just gonna continue. I had help from a CAO, and she no longer wanted to help me. I've asked for training. They've even denied the Manitoba Municipal Association, so I think I'm a qualified person for this job, but if you want
just for the audience to see, like, there's a lot of committees that we haven't nominated anybody. You can see the office with the transition that's happening there. We're meeting out folks and putting more committees in place, and they will come in due time. All that, putting committee in place and having more meetings. We don't have time for more meetings. So I'm just being very cautious that we don't overload the CAO with too many meetings. We've got enough on going right now, but this one, the province told us we need to act on that.
I can handle all the meetings, guys. I just don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can't be expected to know what I don't know.
Okay, hiring.
Don't mean to interrupt, but I just got a text saying that there's video playing on the YouTube, but there's no audio.
Oh, that should be what is now.
Okay. We've got, just on the next resolution there. We're gonna hire somebody, but there's no terms and conditions, no pay.
Well, I can explain. I'm gonna make that motion, be it resolved the council will be hiring Pete Van Langfeld to be a relief grader operator as needed. It's just a relief if we need. I didn't have James put the figure in there, but it would be between $30 and $32 an hour, and we can decide of that. It's not saying that we need him today, but we have an employee that's gonna be going on a week's holidays in February. And past experience, it always seems to snow when there's somebody away, so. For having a $30 grader operator or $32 grader operator come in and run a grader, he knows the roads. It's cheaper than having a hired out contractor to come in with an extra grader to do the job, so. That's what I would like to see.
So can we do it at $30 so we can basically agree on, like, we need to put that cost in because.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's fine.
$30.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that for the lead grader operator.
If,
Now,
$30.
like,
He's agreed to, I talked to him and he said he'll be available. Okay.
we need to figure out the dollar before we second it.
Okay.
So $30 an hour is the motion. Okay,
If that's what everybody wishes for a dollar figure.
so can I have a seconder for the motion at $30? So Council Maxwell. So now,
Basically, as I explained.
yeah,
Only makes sense to have a relief grader operator as per needed. We've had them in the past. Over many years when we first got started and whatnot, so it only makes sense to have one. When I'm gonna get sick, the holidays. It's cheaper than having to hire out another contractor to do greater work, plowing or whatever, so. That's why I don't, no motion.
like I say, we just gotta make sure what the dollar amounts in is. Well, you got something else? Does everybody else have any
Yeah,
questions?
a question around the word as needed,
Yeah.
or the term as needed. This is providing that our existing grader operators aren't in that day, right?
Yes,
So they're not gonna be doing something else, and this fellow is gonna be
it's only
No, in case they get
sickness
working too much.
or,
holiday.
Yeah, sickness.
and you know what, it might work that we do have a really big snowstorm. And
Relief work.
you could maybe rotate them to, so they're not burnt out. But it's only as per needed.
I had that question, and is this somebody that we've used before?
He worked for us for 12
Peters
years.
is, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
13
you're like,
years.
he was a supervisor, that seems missing there, that's the reason. Yeah. Yes, well, that's good. I'm all for emergency, whatever, so anybody else, got anything, okay, so all in favor of it? Yeah, good. As we, good,
And I guess if we could have, the office, or office staff, reach out to him to say that we agreed and,
contact.
at the $30.
Okay. So the next one is 11.4. Brandon Fire and Emergency Service Contract. Even to accept, it's our Fire contract. The fire contract, so you wanna read it out or?
The whole thing. Or this-
No, it's just,
Oh, yeah.
it's not that long.
Be it resolved that the Brandon Fire and Emergency Services contract be accepted. Sound working?
I don't think.
Well, we got a mover, a seconder?
Yeah.
One second, Ed second. Okay, hold on. Just, I'll have a comment there. There was some businesses missing on that, and I reached out to the city. If we approve it tonight,
You can add them.
we can add them in at any time. I mean, there's no cost to it, and the CEO has already added to that, and he's given, I believe, Darwin instructions. Any other business in his travel out there added to the list that's already there.
I guess one question I thought about it is, when they do the fire inspections for businesses, and it does state in this contract what that amounts are. Now, there'll be an option that we can get out of that because of the Keystone Planning District. I think might be able to offer the same thing that the Brandon Fire Department do.
It's training.
It's the inspection, and I believe our Brad Roth has the credentials that he could do that, but it would be something that we would have to look further more into.
That's what you get about it. It says the new self-felony made its option, make all down to the rank.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that's good.
I don't think he's done yet. Brad, I don't think he's got a little more
Yeah.
forward maybe or something, yeah. To be
But there's that
certified.
option for us, and that would
Yeah, and there's,
reduce the cost.
yeah,
One of the business, like, I think I emailed James about 5 businesses that I do let out the hot that aren't on there. They want to know about it. It's just for their safety. So when they go to those shops and there's acetylene torches or anything like that in there, they don't come out of there flying as a missile. So it's just a safety precaution to list anything of a hole or missing, I believe. So anyways, we got a mover and a seconder, or all in favor of this? Now. The signing for. Second. We'll sign it. You and me will sign it. The fire emergency contract. The rest of it, we'll work on it. We'll sign it in for. Okay, we'll go on to the next one.
This
Well,
one was,
11.5, we took it off. We need a little bit more. Want to call a special meeting?
yeah, apologies for the attachment, didn't come.
Yes, yeah, no, that's fine. Yes. The stuff comes through at the last minute, it's hard to attach. Inquiries, does anybody have any inquiries? No people?
I guess the only inquiry that I would be asking about again would be I know CAO or interim CAO has the documents on his desk about the garbage collection. We still haven't decided whether to open them up and go forward with that. I guess I'm just asking again about.
I'm not putting that burden on them.
No,
It's 2 inches thick.
So it's like, so the 2 tender documents are still sealed
Okay,
from the 2 companies. I haven't looked at them, they're still sealed. But we should probably be looking at that this spring, because the deadline for the garbage contract comes to June 30th.
and we'd have to be doing that before budget. Anyways, to know where we're, if there was savings
Yeah.
or increases.
Definitely.
That'd be my only requirement.
So maybe, well, that's a fairly thick document. I was the one that received them and I put them on his desk. It says leave them sealed. And it's almost 2 months now, so I'm now wondering if we shouldn't give them an opportunity to, 2 months elapsed, maybe to reach out to them to see if it might be time to read. maybe they might want to requote. We'll talk about that with James. Okay, notice of motion.
I'm willing to pull that, being that we're gonna be revisiting all the other bylaws. And start again. But I can leave it there and it could be just not dealt with at the next meeting.
So do you want to make a motion?
Well, I can make the motion that as written there, I can have that, or I can pull it.
It's up to you. You're the mover.
And only if we have a guarantee that we're gonna start all these bylaws from scratch. Do it the proper way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pull that, notice of motion then.
Pull the notice of motion. Okay, so Councilor Brown and he's following the motion. Anybody second? What's a notice of motion? I think. Second.
Really, I don't even know if it has to be a motion. I'm not really sure of the proper process.
Yeah,
I think it all really, I don't know, maybe just.
yeah, he's pulling his notice of motion.
But anyways, I'm pulling that, just strike it off the.
Yeah.
Off the agenda.
Okay. So now we got 13.1, a legal matter.
I just have a notice of motion that I'm gonna be bringing forward in February. I know that there's a budget item for signage, but it's been brought to my attention by a ratepayer up in Granite Valley about a large amount of animal excrement being left on the side of the road in amongst residential zones. So if I'm gonna speak to Public Works to find out if they have any plans for signs in the next year. And I've asked James to look into the price of signs. If we need to add that budget a little bit, I'm gonna ask council to support me
Motion is, oh my word.
to buy those signs to post in a residential neighborhood.
That's not what notice of motion is. Notice of motion is for a council member wishing to bring a motion back to the table within 1 year of its passing to
Yeah. Actually, that's not a notice of motion. No, you can add it to the agenda.
I just send it to the agenda and it'll just be a budget item that can be discussed.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm a new counselor. What a notice of motion is if there was a motion passed, Counselor Ross. Which we did, the bylaw, gravel bylaw. Motion and the indemnity. We gave it first reading. What notice of motion is he was given notice that to basically back away what
To
you're,
reverse the motion.
what you're asking there, just. Forward, no, just forward, change a motion, what you're requesting, and we'll put it on the next meeting.
Okay.
That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so that item has been removed. Anybody else got anything?
Can I just say, I want to apologize for my meltdown. This RM deserves somebody with municipal experience, and I don't have that. And without proper training, I can't do this job properly. So that's gonna be up to council. I apologize for my meltdown. I've never done that publicly in my life. I've been through a lot. I think that I'm capable, but that's gonna be up to council. So I apologize and been doing the best I possibly can under the circumstances. Now we have staff, things are getting better. But either we need somebody in here with municipal experience, or we need to get me the proper mentorship or training. Thank you.
On behalf of the residents, I think we fully understand your frustration.
So,
And the thing about it, I was pointing any fingers at it.
Oh, I know.
yeah, no, this is a, I mean, we'll adjourn the meeting then. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Well. Yeah, adjourn this, but we have to go. Don't we have to adjourn this meeting and then do it again? Okay, we have to do it again. I'll get a motion on 13.1 to go into camera.
Motion to go into camera and
I don't know.
everybody has to. I'll second that.
So ending the.